You are listening to Beyond the Wheel, a podcast about the people and ideas that drive the RV community forward.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Wheel. Today I get to turn the tables a bit and interview my co-host Kenny, because he's just released a new children's book called Belle's RV Adventures, Desert Discovery. We talk about the inspiration behind the book, the real-world RV experiences that shaped it, and why adventures and curiosity are such powerful things. It's a fun, personal conversation, and I'm excited to share it with you. So let's dive in. What inspired you to write a children's travel book from Belle's point of view?
Yeah, that's actually a tough question because I don't really remember exactly where I was when I came up with the idea. I just knew that I wanted to tell Belle's story. I wanted to kind of like have Belle share her experience. I often find myself chatting with Belle, even though she doesn't really do too much chatting back. Belle and I do a lot of our trips are just the two of us. And then recently, Sabrina just kind of meets us somewhere. So I wanted to share her story. I wanted to kind of preserve her. I don't know the right way to say this, but I unfortunately think about Belle passing a lot, and it makes me very sad. And I wanted something tangible, something that I could like hold on to more than just a photo. And I came up with this idea that, oh, maybe I can write her story and it's something that I can go back to and I can read. I'm planning on making 10 of these books. It kind of just naturally became a children's book once it was a story written from a dog's perspective. I think it would have been too childish to make it anything more than that, to make it an adult story. I think it just kind of naturally fell into a children's book. Also, I felt, well, if I'm going to write this and put it out there, they always tell you to write what you know for one thing. And I know Belle really well. And these are all true stories based on our travels. But also, I feel like I was writing on my level. I don't write what would be the correct term for it, but I don't use a vocabulary in my writing normally that is above anybody's head. When I first started writing for Winnebago, which was 8 years ago, I was very nervous to turn my first article for them. And at the time, the main editor and the director for Winnebago Life had a reputation of being really tough on people. And so I was really nervous to turn this in, and he wrote me back and said that he loved my article. And he said, Kenny, what I liked most about it is that anybody can pick this article up, read it, and understand it. He's like, you're writing at a level that anybody can understand. And to this day, I'm not sure if that's a compliment, but I think it was. So I think I've always written at a child's level. So I think this just kind of was like a very natural, just a natural progression for me to write a children's book.
So you mentioned that you're planning on writing 10 of these in a series. And so
Mhm.
this first one, Desert Discovery, is the title. But are they all going to be begin with Belle's RV Adventures?
Yeah, that'll be the main title. Belle's RV Adventures will always be the same. And then the 10 other titles, like the subtitles, like this one's Desert Discovery. One's going to be Belle Goes to Mexico. One is going to be Belle Goes to the Grand Canyon. The next one's actually going to be a Route 66 book. So it's Belle Does Route 66. That'll always remain the same, though, is that Belle's RV Adventures. And I don't know how many details we want to throw out here, but you purchase like an ISBN number for books, and it just so happens that you can buy 10 of these numbers at a time. So it worked out really well. That was just total coincidence. So I've already bought or purchased all 10 ISBN numbers for the books in the future. That was just a happy accident there.
Yeah, glad that worked out.
That's one
Um,
thing that worked out, Sean. That's about it. Everything else was tough.
was there a particular trip or moment when you thought that you had to write this book from Belle's perspective?
Yeah, I think it is the Route 66 trip. Belle and I did that one. I don't know if I should say this on the air, but Belle and I did that trip. It was just me and her. In the book version, it will be me, Belle, and Sabrina. I like to say that these stories are based on true stories. Like even in this Desert Discovery one, there's a scenario that happens in this book where we encounter a coyote. That really did happen, but it was just Belle and I at that moment. We were out in Nevada, and we were out dry camping. Sabrina wasn't there in real life, but she is there in the book. So just based on a true story, it's not actually documented information here.
And how did you decide what Belle's voice was? Like, how, did- how how did you figure that part out, or was it you just kind of came up with it on how you think about how Belle thinks?
I definitely, like I mentioned earlier, I chat with her a lot. I talk to Belle more than I probably should, but she is very smart. She does understand. You have a dog, Sean. Like like they understand a lot of what we say just because they can't repeat it back. They understand what we're normally. She understands what I am trying to convey to her. From that, I have always kind of answered for her. My niece, who does the illustrations in this book, always, I mean, for the last few years, she always says that I talk for Belle, that I'm making up things that she would say. I mean, Amira has said this for years and years that I put words in Belle's mouth. So I think I've always had this natural, I don't know if the bond would be the right word for it, but I've always had a tone that I think Belle would speak in. I will say I started a Belle's RV Adventures Instagram page for Belle to kind of promote the book and just to share more stories of just Belle without her having to be part of like the rest of the family. And since starting that Instagram page, I'm writing a lot more on a daily basis, like as her. And she is becoming more and more like snarky and sarcastic. I don't know why that is, but Belle, Shawn. I believe if Belle was able to like voice her opinion, she would be a little rough around the edges. And that
What is that Instagram, Kenny?
it's Belle's RV Adventures.
Oh, okay.
It's literally just the name of the book, but for her, for her own Instagram page, and I try to make it a little fun. There was a post of her in front of a dinosaur on Instagram, and just to try to like increase her personality a little bit, she says, "Oh, Kenny tells me that all the dinosaurs are now extinct, but I didn't think this one smelled bad." Just like so she's got a little bit of extra personality in there, which honestly I feel may be lacking a little bit in the book. She's got personality in the book, but since doing this Instagram page, I think having the Instagram is going to help me in the future books of giving her even more personality. She,
Mhm.
she talks back a little bit in the book and she shares her opinions of things in the book, but I think she's going to have even a stronger personality in future books.
Now, based on the cover of the book, it looks like Belle really loves RVing. Is that true? What does she think about RV life?
No, she really does. So Belle has lived in an RV longer than anywhere else, longer than the house that we have now, longer than we had our apartment. We're lucky that we're able to keep the RV at our house. So there's often times that she'll come out the back door and she goes over and sits by the steps of the RV because she wants to go in the RV. She's in the RV with me right now as we're recording this. She's up on the dash. She really enjoys RV life, mainly for the travel. I always say that she sees the world through her nose. Like, so every time we get in the RV, she knows she's going to be going somewhere different, somewhere for her to smell. She's a little bit like me. She doesn't like being home at the house too much. And this could just be me projecting, but I think she's bored at the house because it's kind of the same thing every day. She's not meeting new people. Whereas in the RV, she loves meeting people, even though a lot of times she goes about it the wrong way. She's kind of snarly and growls and stuff like that. But once somebody comes up to her, she's like super lovable. She actually did this on a walk yesterday. She was growling at people and they squatted down and put out their hand and she ran like right over to them. She definitely is an RV dog. She really likes traveling in the RV.
What do you think was one of her favorite places? And are there any places where she absolutely didn't like?
I would say her favorite place was the Grand Canyon South Rim because almost all that was dog friendly. She was able to we met up with some of our friends out there too that she likes. So she was able to explore the Grand Canyon with us, which was great, and enjoy the outdoors. You know, there's those giant condors, there's these little tiny, they're not mice and they're not squirrels. I forget what they are, Sean, but they're like these little critters that like make weird noises and run around. She really liked the Grand Canyon. I would definitely bring her back to Grand Canyon. She also really likes our RV trip down to Mexico because she likes the beach and she likes running on the beach. A place that she did not like, unfortunately, was Williamsburg. And Williamsburg was pretty dog friendly as long as you stayed outside. But what happened was they were doing a reenactment and they started to like fire the guns and cannons. And you would have thought she got shot. She let out this really loud cry and kind of panicked. I honestly thought something had happened to her, like something hit her the way that she was acting. I had to pick her up, carry her out of the park, out of the area, out of the town, get her back to our car, and then took her back to the RV. And a few years later, we tried to go back, and she remembered it. She would not walk
Mhm.
into that town. 3 years later, she wouldn't walk back in that town. That was a traumatizing experience for her. So, anybody listening, if you're going to go see Williamsburg, maybe take a look at their schedule and see if they're doing any reenactments. Everything was fine up to that point. And I don't think that's something that they do every day. It just happened that we were there for when they were actually firing these cannons.
Yeah, I think when we were there, they were the band dressed up in the military
Hmm.
uniforms. From then, the band was playing. So that
Yeah.
wasn't as bad as the cannons and gunfire, I
She probably wouldn't have liked that though either, if it was drums
know.
and stuff like that. She's kind of a baby sometimes about things.
So when you were writing, Kenny, did you write down like a response from Belle and then find yourself disagreeing with it?
I went through a few revisions. I don't know if I would say I disagreed with what she came up with, but I would tweak a lot of things. And then of course I had an editor too. Brooke Baum's my editor. And she she wouldn't change too much of what I wrote, but she would add to it. I feel like Brooke added a lot of personality to Belle as well. I think Brooke really helped with bringing out Belle's personality. But no, I wouldn't say I disagreed too much or changed too much, but definitely a lot of tweaking on the words.
How has writing from Belle's perspective in the book changed how you see RV travel at all?
That's a really good question. I think that moving forward from this point, I will always be more conscious of what Belle is doing on these trips now because I'm probably going to be using this as future information. I know already that I will be jotting down little notes depending on how she acts in different places, what she is enjoying and what she's not enjoying for future books. For sure, I'm going to be I'm always paying attention to her, but I think I'm going to be trying to get a better idea of her perspective going forward with these books and trying to figure out exactly what she likes the most about RVing and things, I'm writing things that she doesn't like in the book too.
Mhm.
And it's kind of funny too. So the book fibs a small little bit. The book makes Belle seem very brave, and she is not very brave at all. Belle is a bit of a scaredy cat. Now, there is a scene in the book where she scares away a coyote, and that is 100% true. She did do that, but I think that's out of fear. She was very scared of this coyote being near us, but she's also very brave during a thunderstorm and during the monsoons out in the desert, and she is not brave during the thunderstorms. So I'll definitely be paying more attention because I would like to get maybe a little bit more of a truer representation of Belle. I would like to get it more on track of like her real true personality.
Now, I know in the book that Belle talks about her owners a little bit, but how do you think Belle would describe you as a travel companion?
Ooh. Well, hopefully well. I mean, hopefully I know there would be things that she would complain about because she's never ready to come back from a walk. She's never ready to come back from playing at the park. And even now, even at 11 years old, she's never ready to come back. So this is why I feel like she really enjoys the RV life compared to home life. She's never ready to come back in. She's very content being outside. She likes laying in the sun. She likes to play. She likes to walk. She likes to smell. So she would definitely complain about the fact that I don't give her enough time exploring outside, even though we are outside a lot. But 100%, she would say that I'm not giving her enough time, like on travel days. She would like more time. I'm trying to get somewhere, so we stop. I let her out to do her business, and a lot of times we come back in. I try to take her to a park. I try to walk her around a little bit, but I know it's not as long as she would like. She does like though that I go to bed early because she goes to bed early, and she likes to snuggle. So that she'd be very happy with. I know that she likes going to bed early, snuggling. I don't sleep in, but she does like to sleep in. So she would probably be okay if I would sleep in a little bit later and maybe get a little bit of a later start. But other than that, I think she's very excited about all the places that we go to, except for Williamsburg. But all the other places that we go to and explore, I think she's very happy with the way we travel.
I know you said dogs experience things through their nose, which I agree with. But do you think there's any other ways they experience traveling differently than we do?
Other than the scent of smell, because that's a really strong one for her.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that she's probably a better judge of character than I am. So I think when we're walking around, going to different RV parks, gas stations, casinos, all that, she's quick to growl at somebody. To be honest, I'm kind of like everybody's a friend until they're not, until they prove me otherwise. Even though I grew up in Philly and I shouldn't really have that attitude, but I'm friendly to everybody that I meet. Belle, not so much. Like you gotta kind of like earn Belle's trust. She might not like a person for a very long time. And then eventually she might give in and be like, okay, you're okay. You're not as bad as I thought you were. So yeah, my idea of like RVing and traveling is on a very friendly scale. Like I want to meet everybody. I want to chat with everybody. Belle is very what would judgmental of everybody. So I think she views people very differently than I view people. To be honest, she probably views people more like how Sabrina views people. So I think Belle and Sabrina have a very similar personality.
If Belle could give advice to other dogs about taking a road trip, what do you think she would say to them?
Make sure that that your humans bring more treats than they think they need. um, and toys. We were surprised, like even though like you're traveling and you're seeing all these new places for them. Belle loves now. Not every dog's a little different, but Belle loves toys, and she likes to have her favorite toys on a road trip because even while we're driving and she's like buckled up front here, she likes to have one of her toys in her bed with her. When we stop, she likes to throw it around. She'll chase it into the bedroom and back out again. So yeah, she would say make sure that your owners or your best friends there have treats and toys. I think that's probably like the two most important things.
Mhm.
It's just like Belle, I'm sure most dogs too. Like I think dogs feel like they are, and this is kind of in the book, that they are with us to protect us. Like I feel like they almost feel like they're on duty. Like that's it's their job to look out for us, kind of. If Belle would to talk to other dogs, I think she would like let them know, you can relax a little bit. They're not as dumb as they look. They'll be okay. You don't have to watch them 24 hours, 24/7, even though that is what she's doing. Um, you know, take your time, enjoy where you're going to because you don't know if you're going to be back at a place. Yeah, I think she feels like she is on duty all the time, and she is by no means a service dog or anything like that, but she is super protective of us.
So for parents that buy this book for their kids to read to their kids, what do you think parents can expect from the book? Is it humor, adventure, heartwarming moments, or all of the above?
I'm hoping all of the above. So it does have a little bit of humor to it on Belle's part. It also has adventure in it. There's a couple scenes. I kind of thought about my own childhood and stories that I thought were very important to me when I was a kid. While thinking about it, I realized that all the cartoons that I really like, movies anyway, all had like a scary moment in them. So I made sure that this book has like one scary moment in it as well. So but there's some humor, there is some adventure in there, and that scary moment. I would say it's heartwarming as well because, and this could just be me, and I'm kind of sensitive when it comes to Belle, but I kind of read the book to Belle as a bedtime story when it came in. I got a proof copy here, and I was crying by the end of it. Like I was in tears because it really is like her life. I mean, we talk about in the book, adopting her and her coming home with us for the first time. That's early on in this book, so that got me a little bit. And then there's a really cute illustration of her wondering where she's going next. And I think about her getting older. I mean, it was over for me, Sean. So I feel like it's heartwarming. I feel like it does have an adventure, a little bit of scary to it, and a little bit of comedy. But the thing I wanted to do in this book was to make it a little educational too. So there are a couple words in there that are maybe a little bit more difficult than they should be for a children's book. But I figure, they could ask a parent. I mean, kids are pretty good with Google now, even the younger ones are. So I did want a little bit of education in there. And that's something that will continue in the future books. And something I want to add to the future books, like I want to keep everything that I'm doing in this book, but I would like to add maybe like good virtue moments about packing everything back up and not leaving a mess when you leave an area. Maybe being kind to everybody, not just people, but the animals in an area as well, and just being conscious of our own space. I'm not trying to put a message, I guess,
Mm.
into the books, but I think that would be a especially for young learners or young readers, they should know that leave a place the way you found it, if not better. If you find it a mess, maybe pick up a little bit. And that's something that Belle and I have done. I have something called a trasharoo on the back of my Jeep. And if an area is really trashy, I can pick up some trash and put it in the trasharoo, and we try to leave it a little better.
Now, this was your first book. Can you talk a little bit about the process of writing the book and getting the book ready to be sold, kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly related to that process?
Sure. Yeah. So I was lucky. You've written a book, so you gave me some advice and told me what I was in for. Not that I didn't pay attention to you, Sean, but you told me that the layout would be pretty difficult, and the layout was way difficult. That was the most difficult part. And I guess I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but the story, believe it or not, didn't take up as much time as I thought it would. The story came together pretty well. I sent it over to my editor. She would make some changes and then send it back to me. I would make some changes, send it back to her. We probably did that maybe only 6 times for the entire book. It wasn't that bad. Illustrations, on the other hand, like I mentioned earlier, my niece did the illustrations. My niece and I, for these illustrations, we have over 125 emails back and forth on illustrations. What I did was I wrote the story first, even before I sent it to Brooke, the editor. Under each page, I had a little caption of what I would like the illustrations to look like for each page. As I would get the pages closer to getting done, I started sending the pages to Amira because I knew that illustrations would take a long time. Amira would read the page and then read my caption and then come up with an illustration for it. And she's super creative. She actually would take my description of what I wanted that page to look like and elevate it. She made every page look better than what I kind of pictured in my mind even. She has a good eye for like perspective. She did a really good job on some of the illustrations, kind of making it look like you're looking at an image from Belle's perspective, which it wasn't really something I kind of thought of, like when she's looking at cactus or cacti, you're kind of looking at it down low and looking up at it. So the illustration process took a long time and I knew it was going to take a long time. I had already, kind of planned on that being a while. The writing went easier than I thought. Getting copyright went easier than I thought. That only took about a day, actually. Getting the ISBN number, that's the number for like tracking and kind of it's almost like the social security number for a book, I guess is the best way to say it. That was fairly easy too. Like I said, I bought all of them in a single day. The layout was not easy at all. I probably messed with this layout for months. Part of it is because it is heavily illustrated with words, but I also messed up. So I wanted this to be in a landscape style book, which it still is landscape, but I wanted it to be larger than what Amazon can print. And I thought I was okay because on their website, it says that they could do 8.5 by 6 or 10 by 7, I think is what it said it could do. And that was what I was kind of shooting for. But I didn't realize that their 10 by 7 wasn't 10 wide, it was 10 tall. And I wanted to be 10 wide. So after all the illustrations were done, the writing was done, and I had everything laid out, I was using a program called Canva Pro. After I had that whole layout done, or what I thought was done, I went over to Amazon KDP to start uploading things and getting the book like actually real and making it a real thing. My dimensions didn't match up with what Amazon had, and I had to go back and resize every page to match. And then the second part that was a problem was after I did that, and then I tried to upload to Amazon, Canva's safe area is different than Amazon's safe area. And that's probably my mistake. Looking back at things, it looks like maybe I set the Canva safe area incorrectly, or it's because I resized and I didn't resize the safe area. So when I uploaded it to Amazon, it flagged like every single page and said, words are getting cut off, images are getting cut off. So then I had to go back and resize the images on the page. Like the size of the page was correct, but then I had to like shrink things down and change fonts, and it became a night. it it was tough. It was the layout and uploading things to Amazon, the cover, the back cover, all that was so tough. It was tougher than a $2 steak. It was really difficult to get everything to line up. And then once I tried to upload the cover didn't match the page size for some reason. I mean, I was complaining to you all the time, Sean, I'm hoping book 2 goes much smoother. So I started this book in March, finished it. Well, it just got done 2 days ago and it's December. So that's about 9 months. I would like the second book, I would like start to finish to be in about 6 months. And that's going to be the Route 66 trip. I feel as if I've gone through all these growing pains of this first one, I should be able to knock 3 months. I mean, that's how much I was, I like to say fooling around. That's how much nonsense I caused myself, was about 3 months of trying to get this thing to work.
So we're here recording our podcast, Kenny, as we do every couple of weeks. If Belle could host the podcast for an episode, what do you think her show would be about?
Mostly dog parks, campgrounds that have the best dog parks for sure. She's had some really good KOA, I would say, is typically a spot that has really good dog parks. We had that one company, Four Paws Kingdom, on that one time, Sean, a long, long time ago now.
Yep.
She really liked it there, and they had great dog parks. She would probably do like a top 10 dog parks across the country. Actually, we've had even some really nice dog parks at what's it called, Love's, like the Love's gas stations, nicer than what we were expecting. So she would probably do maybe top 10 unexpected dog parks across the country.
So when this comes out, Kenny, the book will be available because I think it's released in December 8th.
Yes. Yep.
And so if people are interested, where can they get it?
So at the moment, it'll just be on Amazon. If you're a Prime member, you should get it for the free shipping. If you just Google Bell's RV Adventures, I don't even think you have to put Amazon in there, but just Google that. It should take you to the listing that is on Amazon. Or if you're in Amazon already and you type Bell's RV Adventures, it should come up. You shouldn't need the Desert Discovery included in there because there is only the one book for now. But in the future, if you're listening to this 2-3 years later, hopefully I've got a couple more books. And if you wanted to see the first one, it is Desert Discovery. So you would have to put that in there to find it. I hope to get it in stores as well. Going to use Ingram Spark is what it's called to get it in the books stores. And that's going to be a whole other process because even though the book is done, that is a different size as well. So I got to resize everything, redo the layout, and get it to Ingram Spark. And it's funny, doing this process, Sean, I didn't realize how Amazon kind of works. If you're listening to the show right now and you want to order this book from Amazon, they actually print that book just for you. Amazon doesn't do bulk printing. I would have guessed that they might print 10 at a time and just keep them around. And then if somebody wants one, they got it ready and they just ship it. But Amazon is, I guess, so huge and so fast at doing stuff that they can print the book and ship it out in 5 days. It's almost like, it seems inconceivable to me.
I will let everybody know that Julie and I both, Kenny sent us an advance copy, and we both really enjoyed the book. And so I highly recommend people check it out, not just because you're a friend of ours, Kenny, and you're my co-founder of this podcast, but because it really was a good book. It seemed like you've been writing for years, and the illustrations are really high class illustrations. It's a great book. It's a great kids book, and we're gonna definitely get a couple for our grandkids to have, and we'll continue the series for sure. So we're looking forward to the Route 66 one. Is there a reason why you're doing the Route 66 one next?
Yeah, 2026 is the 100th anniversary for Route 66. I didn't know that originally. I was contemplating which one to do next, and I was leaning towards our Grand Canyon trip. But then once I found out that it was the 100th anniversary, I was like, oh no, we should definitely do the Route 66 trip next. And that was a really fun trip for Belle and I. And it'll be interesting too, I think, because some of that is like I went into areas that Belle couldn't go into. Some of that I think will be a fun dynamic in the sense that I will now be telling Belle I'll be telling Belle what my experience was, and she's going to be now telling the kids what my experience was. Like it's almost like breaking a fourth wall in a sense, but probably not. I'm not even really thinking about it the right way. But in my mind, it's kind of funny to have a cartoon version of me now and a cartoon version of Belle and kind of keep the personalities. It's almost like acting, I guess, in a sense, because I try to keep her personality different than my personality. And this next book will probably be challenging in doing that because we will be having more interactions with one another in the actual book. If that makes sense.
I bet Sabrina is kind of sad that she couldn't have gone on some of these adventures with you after she read the book.
Yeah, she had a nice compliment, actually. Sabrina's a tough critic. And I do appreciate everything you said about the book, Sean. I really enjoy the book myself. And illustrations, Amir, I feel like really knocked it out of the park. I love the illustrations in this book. But Sabrina read the book and she's like, oh, I think you need to hurry up and write the second book because I want to see what happens next. And I said to her, I was like, you know what happens next. You're on most of these trips with us. She's like, no, but I want to see the cartoon version of what happens next. She also gave me almost a compliment where she said, she was like, oh, this book almost seems like it was written by like a legitimate author. I was like, I've been writing for a long time. I'm not sure if this is a compliment or not. I haven't written books before, but I have been writing for a long time.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't read like it's somebody's first book. So
And
that's good.
that's a huge compliment because I'm excited about the book, but I'm also nervous about kind of putting it out there because you don't know. It's hard for me to look back and say, "Oh, do I like the book because it's about my own dog?" Like, will other people like this book? I mean, they don't know. For some people, they might not know who Belle is. Will it still be a fun read if you don't know me, Sabrina, or Belle? I don't know. Or is it just fun to us because we we're the story, we're in it, and you know us. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think when I read it, and me and Julie read a lot, Kenny. She definitely has a personality in the book. So
Good.
yeah, I don't think you need to necessarily know who Belle is to enjoy the book and learn about her and her personality through the book.
That's why I wanted you guys to have the book early as possible, and I know I got it to you even kinda later than I wanted to because you guys read a ridiculous amount of books a year. Hundreds, right?
Julie reads in the hundreds. I don't read in the hundreds, but I read a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. It's incredible how much you guys are able to read. I am not a fast read I don't consider myself a fast reader. I think, honestly, I probably write faster than I can read. Yeah, but I'm really excited to have this out in the world and start getting feedback. If people are listening and they're going to go to Amazon and purchase it, I would definitely appreciate reviews on the book too. Belle will appreciate reviews. This is how it's the only way I think a book will get recognized is through reviews. I guess like anything else on Amazon, right? You look through Amazon and you see something that has 4 reviews, you're like, but if you see the same, similar product and it's got 100 reviews, then you'll be like, oh yeah, it's legitimate. There's actually a product. I'm going to receive something. I sometimes feel like if something has low reviews, I take it as, oh, are they even going to ship me out something? Like, will it even be there? I don't know. Is it real? So definitely need those reviews.
Well, I think that's all of my questions, Kenny. Is there anything else you want to mention that I forgot?
No, Sean, I think you did a great job of getting all the questions to me. I really can't think of anything else. I just want to definitely thank you for having me on the show. It's kind of weird to be a guest on the show. I remember saying to you when I was writing the book I said to you, I was like, do you think I could come on our own show? Like it is an RV, it's not really an RV product or an RV service. And I think we decided we're like, well, it's our own show. We could have whoever we want on it.
And it's very RV related. I mean, this is for RV adventures.
Yeah, it is RV related. I just feel like I guess that it's not like our typical RV
Yeah.
product.
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoy being on the show. It's kind of fun not asking the questions. All the weight was put on you.
Well, thanks for coming on, Kenny. I appreciate it. I'm glad I asked the right questions and you were able to answer. It's like we do this for a living or something.
That's right.
But if anybody's interested, definitely go check out Amazon and again, just search for Belle's RV Adventures and get the book. It's a great gift for kids or for parents that want to read to their kids. This is a great book to do that with. And also check out Belle's Instagram. Kenny, you said it's Belle's RV Adventures as well.
Yep.
Yep. And see posts of Belle and her adventures on the road and in the RV. So thanks everybody for listening, and we'll catch y'all next time. Until then, safe travels.